You just look natural. Just look natural now that I'm filming you.
Well, thank you, Bob, and appreciate the invite and the opportunity to talk tonight. There's several Roper folks here tonight, so they know that when I get in front of a microphone, I don't pass up the opportunity to talk. Bob should have known better. Just to be here tonight is special. Normally this time of year, Roper will plan a celebration of their annual United Way campaign, and we had actually picked tonight as that night. And as we're getting ready to put out the communications and invites and so forth, we found out that Bob wanted to do this same night. And so we had a dilemma, but it was a very easy decision. This is important and something that we want to be a part of. And so we pushed that out to a later evening, and that way we knew as many Roper people as possible would be here tonight.
Thank you, Scott.
Karen, my wife Karen has joined me tonight, and she and I we never had the honor of meeting Bob Norton, but certainly he must have been a remarkable man. Certainly the way that he dedicated his life to the Lord as a missionary pilot, but also demonstrated by the quality of the friendships and the friends that he had that so tirelessly are carrying on the search for him after this amount of time. We don't know why the Lord chose to take Bob when he did, but we do know the Lord has a plan. Proverbs 19 verse 21 says that the plans of man are many, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. And so we take that word as truth and know that there's a reason for all this, and it'll all come together at some point. And I want to urge Bob and the team to press on and continue with the search efforts. I hope that with your perseverance and diligence, that answers will be found. And I pray that through your actions, Christ will be exalted and the world will be impacted for him. As for the rest of us that are here tonight, we're reminded that there are no coincidences or accidents with God. We were called here tonight for a purpose, and I think that those purposes are to continue to support and pray for this effort, but also that we should show that effort financially. And we certainly received a fine dinner tonight and great entertainment, but I'd like to encourage you to think about doing even more for this ministry. And so I always like to lead by example. So if you're led to write a check tonight, write it to the Norton Search, and that will be funneled through
OCI
513C, so it'll be a charitable donation. And I just encourage you to think about doing that and hand your check to either Bob or Sarah. So with that, Bob, here's a check. And thanks for letting me speak.
I think there's something to do for fundraising. And Ronnie said, you got to talk to Tracy. She knows how to do this stuff. And so I called Tracy. Where you at, Tracy? Tracy, right back there. So Tracy pulled this together in a really pretty short time. And the crew of guys here helping. The guys in white shirts and my son Tyler, and the cooks are in the back, and they've been working hard all day to get this meal ready, so really mega proud. In an effort like this, and you're going to see a little bit more about it here in a few minutes, but it's a very complex effort, and it's an international effort, and it takes people with some really specific skills, and it also takes some specific type equipment. And so we have several different companies. You can look at our website on the special thanks page, and you'll see a lot of these different companies that have either donated equipment, or services or software, or let us borrow equipment, whatever we needed for that next thing we were doing. They also invited us to the International Technical Symposium, and one of our team members went there and presented. So this effort and what all we're doing with this effort is was presented there, and then they also had me speak on one of their webinars, so it helps us find additional resources and skill sets that we need as we move forward. So in their case, it's not just equipment, it's also some other things like the webinars. And you might say, well, what does Jackson Kayak have to do with the search effort? Well, interestingly enough, Steve Zietlow, right here, stand up, Steve, if you would. He's our drone builder. His mistake was he was kayaking on a river the same way I was. And so we started talking, and he was giving us some pointers. We were rookie kayakers, he's not. And so he was teaching us a few things. And then one thing led to another, and somehow my conversations always end up back at the search, don't they, Lisa? So anyway, Steve started talking with us about it, and it turns out he's a machinist and a model maker, and he is he's an RC plane buff, knows a lot about RC planes, and so guess what he's doing now? He's building now our second generation search drone, and this is one that will actually, if we get all of our permits in place, this will actually go to Venezuela with us. Not on this trip, but later in the year. So the trip that's coming up that this dinner is actually making possible, we're going down, you can sit down, Steve, thank you very much. We're going down with a search technician that is specializes in cold case aviation search. And so he's going down with me. We're going to do a lot of we're going to re-interview some of our eyewitnesses and interview some eyewitnesses we've never talked to before. And we're also going to be meeting with officials like the Secretary of Security in Venezuela to start talking about what can we do and how can we bring our control plane that flies autonomously. And so in a few minutes I'll talk about how we got to that too. But anyway, so Jackson Kayak got involved. They provided a really nice kayak in here for our silent auction tonight, and they also have some of the processes that they use and some of the equipment that they have there is going to come in handy as Steve is designing and building these drones. So appreciate that.
I was thinking 3 years is just a short time unless you're waiting for something to happen. And I've been waiting for answers for a long time. And so on behalf of the Norton family and the others, I just really, really appreciate you all supporting and being here tonight and sharing in the search effort. Because for me, not having answers is hard, but it has been a great comfort to know that Bob stepped in and his wife Lisa and the others and have continued on to find answers and have been searching. And that has brought comfort to me. And so I really appreciate it. And also I have realized that this has been a difficult search because, first of all, there's no pieces to put together. It's looking for the pieces. And only God knows the end result of all of this. But I know that there's a plan and a purpose and a reason because I have just been amazed, as Bob has shared with me, different aspects of not coincidence, but providential leadings of bringing people together and things that come forward. And I believe this, whether my brother is ever found or we have answers from the jungle, I believe there's a bigger plan and purpose going on here that will benefit other families and maybe other searches in the future. Bob also loved animals, he loved children, he loved people. And when he finished his flight training, about the same time that the opportunity opened up in Venezuela and they needed a pilot, he told a friend, he said, I don't want to just be a missionary, I want to really do something for God and for people. So he put his whole life, his whole heart into serving the Indian people, going into villages where others couldn't go. Some where maybe with his plane he shouldn't have gone, but he did. He had tremendous skill to be able to fly an airplane. It was just natural to him, and God went with him. And he took risks to save lives. And whatever happened, we don't know. But I know God is with him. Just make a difference. Just do something to make a difference in someone's life. And often on the end of his letters, which I edited and sent out for him, he would throw out that challenge, just make a difference. And I believe that is being carried on by this search effort. And so Bob would be happy. And just thank you so much.
I had one other thanks that I wanted to do. You know, Bob and them went missing, Bob and Neva and the 500, there were 7 on the plane. They went missing February 16, 2009. I found out the very next day from Bob's mom. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm going to do something, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm going to be honest with you, for 3 days after I found out that Bob was missing, I would go to work, I would come home, and I would just kind of walk around. I didn't know what to do. It's another country. The only people I knew there were missing. But what do you do? And there's a lady that I've known since high school that that looked me square in the eyes on the 3rd day after Bob had gone missing, and she said, Bob, do something. Try to find Norton. And it was like, you know, in the movies when they slap the guy and say, snap out of it, son. You know, it was one of those kind of moments. And it did. It kind of rattled my cage, and I said, okay, I got to do something. And so I'll forever be thankful for my wonderful wife, Lisa, for not just getting me in motion, but then also tremendous sacrifice by Lisa and the kids. And I have several of my kids here I'd like to introduce to you as well. Lisa, if you'd stand. This is my wife, Lisa. We've been married 30 years this summer. I kept saying 29, and my kids kept saying, no, it's 30 then. And we got Brad over here on the camera. Brad. And Carrie, maybe one of my family members. And my son Tyler is here somewhere helping to serve. So is he back? Oh, he's back in the back. All right. So my son Tyler is back there. He's been helping all day long get things set up here. And so, you know, when you're doing something like this, obviously, if your family is not behind it, it would be very challenging. And so, a tremendous sacrifice on my family's part, and I appreciate very much their support. And I love you guys. So what I want to do now is take just a few minutes and give you guys kind of a quick briefing on what we're doing and what we've done. What we did initially when the plane, you know, after I got off the couch and started doing something, I made a phone call, and we talked a lot. We talked a lot about Providence and how it's too coincidental to be coincidence. The people that have crossed our paths at exactly the right time as we move forward with the search. And so I called one of my good friends, J.D. Brown, and he's a pilot in the Air Reserves, and he happened to know somebody that was on the Steve Fawcett search. Remember that search? That adventure guy that crashed out west, and they used satellite imagery to try to find him. They didn't find him with that, but it was a good approach, and so that's what we did initially. And we just raise the money as we go for what we need to do next, and really, really appreciate, the team appreciates, and I appreciate very much you guys coming out tonight and eating with us and being a part of this.